Next time you're enjoying a beautiful day on the water, take a moment to stop and think what may be lurking below the surface. Today, we're going to revisit one of our favorite topics, sea monsters. Stay with us as we go through our favorite sea monsters and their legends. Or perhaps they're not legends. Let's dive in, pun totally intended, and look at some of the monsters lurking underneath the surface. From ancient times to the present day, tales of mysterious sea creatures have been told and retold around the world. While there are plenty of things living under the sea, some sound wonderful while others are downright scary. From the famous Loch Ness Monster to lesser-known creatures such as the Kraken and the Sirens, these mythical creatures have captivated imaginations for centuries. To begin with, let us start with a famous sea monster everyone should be familiar with. The Loch Ness Monster is perhaps the most mysterious creature on Earth. For over a century, people have been trying to uncover the truth about this mysterious creature. The first reported sighting of the Loch Ness Monster occurred in 1933, when a man named George Spicer claimed to have seen an enormous animal rolling and plunging on the surface. Since then, hundreds of reported sightings have been made throughout Scotland and the surrounding areas. Unfortunately, no concrete evidence of the monster's existence has ever been discovered. There have been a few photographs that some believe to be of the Loch Ness Monster, but they are inconclusive. Sonar readings have also been taken in the lake, but nothing definitive has been found. The most likely explanation for the sightings is that they are the result of mistaken identity or hoaxes. There are many large animals that live in the lake, such as eels, otters, and fish, and it is possible that some of these creatures have been mistaken for the monster. Additionally, there have been numerous hoaxes, such as a fabricated photograph of the creature taken in 1934. Despite the lack of conclusive evidence, the Loch Ness Monster continues to fascinate the public. Sightings are still reported each year, and there are numerous books and documentaries dedicated to the search for the creature. Whether or not the Loch Ness Monster is real, it remains one of the world's most enduring mysteries. For now, its existence remains a mystery, but that doesn't stop people from hoping that one day, the truth will be revealed. Next up, the Kraken. For centuries, sailors have told tales of a giant sea monster, known as the Kraken, that lurks in the depths of the ocean. The Kraken is said to be a fearsome creature, capable of dragging an entire ship beneath the waves with its powerful tentacles. Despite its long and mysterious history, there is still much debate over whether the Kraken actually exists, or if it is just a myth. The first recorded mention of the Kraken dates back to the 12th century, where it is described as a giant sea monster capable of devouring entire ships. Since then, tales of the Kraken have been passed down through the generations, with sailors claiming to have seen this mysterious creature in the open waters. The Kraken is typically described as a giant squid-like creature, with enormous tentacles that can reach hundreds of feet in length. Some stories even suggest that the Kraken has the power to create giant whirlpools that can pull ships down into the depths of the ocean. Now, let us talk about a more sinister monster that disguises itself as a thing of beauty. The Sirens of Greek mythology have captivated and mystified people for centuries. Described as beautiful yet dangerous creatures, they were said to lure sailors to their doom with their enchanting music and voices. The Sirens were said to live on an island in the Mediterranean Sea, surrounded by dangerous rocks and whirlpools. When sailors heard their song, they were unable to resist and would often steer their ships towards the Sirens in a trance-like state. Those who fell under the Sirens' spell would be lured to their death as their ships crashed upon the rocks. The sirens have been depicted in many different ways throughout history. In some versions of the myth, they are depicted as beautiful women with enchanting voices, while in others they are depicted as bird women with wings. In some versions, the sirens would sing to their victims, while in others they would simply call out to them. In Homer's Odyssey, Odysseus was able to resist the sirens by having his men fill their ears with beeswax and having himself tied to the mast of his ship so that he could listen to their song without being lured to his death. The sirens remain an enduring symbol of mystery and danger, and their story has been told and retold throughout the ages. As the legend has endured, so has their mystery and power. Who knows what secrets they still hold? From beautiful to terrifying, we must now turn our attention to a monster of destruction. Jörmungandr, also known as the world serpent, is a mysterious creature from Norse mythology. It is a giant serpent, said to be so large that it could encircle the entire world. In Norse myth, Jörmungandr was a child of the trickster god Loki and was thrown into the sea by Odin. The serpent grew so large that it was able to wrap itself around the world and grasp its own tail. In this way, it was said to create a kind of barrier that kept the world from coming to an end. In some versions of the myth, Jörmungandr is also said to be the cause of much of the chaos and destruction that can occur in the world. It is believed to be a powerful force of nature, capable of wreaking havoc on the world if its boundaries are broken. The myth of Jörmungandr has been the source of much speculation and debate among scholars. Some have argued that it is a symbol of chaos and destruction, while others have argued that it is a symbol of protection and balance. Some have even suggested that it may be a metaphor for the cycle of life and death. Whatever the case may be, Jörmungandr remains a mysterious and powerful creature of myth and legend. It is an enduring symbol of the power of nature and the importance of balance in the world. And finally, we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating creatures of the sea, the Leviathan. The Leviathan is often described as a massive sea creature with a long serpentine body and powerful jaws. It's said to be so large that it can swallow entire ships whole, and so strong that it can crush even the sturdiest of vessels with its mighty jaws. In ancient times, the Leviathan was often viewed as a symbol of chaos and destruction. In Jewish mythology, it was said to be a sea monster that was created by God to remind humans of their own insignificance in the grand scheme of things. In some accounts, the Leviathan was even believed to be a servant of the devil, sent to torment and destroy the souls of the wicked. Over time, the myth of the Leviathan has evolved and taken on new meanings. In literature, it's often used as a metaphor for the destructive power of nature or the overwhelming force of government. In modern pop culture, the Leviathan has appeared in everything from video games to TV shows and movies. Despite its fearsome reputation, there's no evidence that the Leviathan ever existed as a real creature. Some researchers believe that the legend may have been inspired by sightings of real sea creatures such as whales or giant squids. Others speculate that the myth may have arisen from a combination of various cultural and religious traditions. And there you have it. No matter whether these creatures actually exist or not, their stories will continue to captivate our imaginations and fuel our curiosity about what lies beneath the sea. From the depths of Loch Ness to the mysterious music of the sirens, these creatures will continue to fascinate us for generations to come. We hope you enjoyed learning about some of the most fearsome sea monsters, and we'll see you in the next video.